guys, welcome back for my weekly cosmic astrology update. I'm really excited to bring you this week's forecast. We've got a really nice energy this week, very nice energy. There's really not a whole lot of difficulty. I think maybe one day looks a little bit sketchy, but yeah, I'm excited to kind of bring some good news because we all know the past year and a half has been a little challenging. So if you guys don't already know me, my name is Yelena Crawford. Welcome to my channel. And if you do already know me, then welcome back. Thank you guys for coming and watching another video. I am so very grateful for all of you. Just a little reminder, if you love astrology, spirituality, and plant medicine, make sure to tap that subscribe button below as well as hit the like button, leave me a comment. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers, and this is a huge milestone and it has taken a lot of work and patience. So I thank you guys so very much for helping me get there and being part of this growing community. But anyways, I do weekly astrology forecasts. This is actually something new that I just recently decided to dedicate to on this channel. So 2 of the 4 forecasts out of the month will include a breakdown of a horoscope for all 12 zodiac signs, your sun, moon, rising. But 2 of the weeks will just be an extended forecast. Unless there's some giant transit going on, then of course I'm going to be doing a breakdown for all 12 signs. Other than that, with other housekeeping information, please add me on Instagram. I've got additional content over there that I create. I love making beautiful graphics and teaching you astrology and things like that on there. So I'm going to add the link to the screen above or below somewhere. And also I use the tropical Western zodiac with a mixture of modern astrology and ancient Hellenistic astrology, just in case anybody is wondering what the heck I am talking about, where I've gotten this information. And I think we're gonna go ahead and call that the end of the housekeeping. So this forecast, you guys, is going to be for today, Friday, May 14th, which just happens to be my birthday. I just had to give a little plug of that there. Sun in Taurus here. And it's also going to take us all the way through to next Thursday, which is May 20th. So let's go ahead and get started here. Today on Friday, May 14th, we have a moon that is going to be void of course for most of the day. Now, if you are not familiar with what a void of course moon means, so the moon is always moving through the zodiac. It takes it about 29 and a half days to get through the entire zodiac of all of its 8 phases. Well, it takes about 2.5 to 3 days to transit each astrological sign, right? So within its transit, it's always making communications and it's making aspects, which are geometric shapes, to all of the different planets that are also moving around the chart. So it's constantly in this communication and changing the moods, because the moon represents our moods and our emotions. So it's like changing the moods up a lot, and it adds context to the day, right? Well, when the moon is void of course, it is not making any more aspects within the zodiac sign that it's in. So it might have a couple more degrees to travel, but it's not going to be communicating with anyone or anything. And this can be symbolism that we relate to our everyday lives, meaning that it could provide communication issues. It could provide misunderstandings. It could bring challenges in the front of clarity. It could bring confusion. Your mind might not be working properly. We might have emotional discrepancies. So it's a really good time to just kind of chill, right? So this is going to be happening from about 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. today. And you're probably like, oh, great. Well, I have to go to work. Yeah. So I know it's kind of hard with a void of course moon to say, hey, stop everything you're doing and go meditate, right? We can't always do things like that, but at least you're in the know to maybe try to avoid planning big major events or making yourself have a big list of to-do things with like a lot of errands to run and things like that. Avoiding making big decisions. Make sure you don't overcommit yourself, okay? So these are just some suggestions if you do have time to rest and retreat and kind of just chill, clean the house, clean your car, do yard work, and do those types of things. You're going to be just fine and dandy, but you're going to be just fine and dandy anyways. So there's really nothing to worry about. So with that moon being void, of course, it means that it's soon going to be shifting signs, which it's going to be doing Friday evening. And I really like the energy of Friday night. So looks like I'm gonna have a good birthday night. I'm very excited. The moon is actually moving into the sign of Cancer, where the moon is going to be in its home spot, in its domicile, in its house. So when a planet or a luminary, the sun or the moon, is in a place that it really loves to be, it brings its best energy forward. It makes us a little bit more comfortable as well, because like I said, the moon rules our emotions and our moods. So it's going to bring us a lot of comfort. We are going to feel the need to be connected to our emotions, and we might feel a little bit more nurturing or feel the need to be nurtured by other people a little bit more. It's just gonna bring us a lot of harmony with our family and our friends. So this is a really good time to spend time with those that we love. Maybe taking a trip down memory lane, because it's all about the nostalgia of our childhood and different things when the moon is in the sign of Cancer. So I know I'm going to be spending the weekend with my family. So what a perfect time. And I planned this before I realized that the moon was going to be in Cancer. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be with my mom. The moon represents your mom. So spend some time with your family this weekend, you guys, or people that you really value, that you really love. You're going to probably be feeling a little extra intuitive too. So pay attention to those somatic feelings that you get in the body, those little intuitive hits and nudges, that gut feeling, right? Because you might be being led in some direction. Energy is definitely going to be on the increase too, because we are in the waxing stage of the moon now. We passed our new moon, which was this prior week. We moved out of that balsamic rest and retreat dark phase, and now we are in that waxing moon. So we are increasing in light. Energy has returned. We're starting to work towards our goals and the things that we seeded at that new moon period, right? So anyways, we'll go ahead and move on from here. The last thing I want to talk about, really, other than Jupiter being in Pisces, is at 9:45 p.m., the moon is going to be making a beautiful, harmonious trine aspect with Jupiter, which has just freshly entered Jupiter, or entered Pisces. So this is all fresh and exciting, and a trine is of the nature of Jupiter. It wants to bring abundance and opportunity and harmony and all of these amazing, lovely things that we want for a Friday night, that we'd want for a birthday, that we want for hanging out with our loved ones. It's really going to be great. Our moods and our emotions are going to be feeling super in line with our visions and our beliefs of where we're moving for the future. We're going to be very confident and comfortable. So I don't know about you guys, but I really like the sound of that. Maybe even potentially feeling really safe and secure in the direction that we're headed, or our general overall outlooks on life and our belief systems. And all of those things are going to really feel super duper aligned here. We might even be seeing and feeling how much we've really grown and expanded in that Pisces area of our lives. Really showing us how far we've come, and kind of giving us a big pat on the back here. So Jupiter just left Aquarius, which is a Saturn-ruled sign. And it means that it's taking the restrictions off a little bit here. Not 100% though. So what I do want to bring to the forefront and bring to your attention is, with this Jupiter and Pisces transit, it's going to be here, like I said in last week's video. If you want to get a little bit more information, just check out last week's forecast. I'll pop it up on the screen. But with this Jupiter and Pisces, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade here. This is just my interpretation of all of it. But this is going to be just making an entrance. It's like a preview, right? So it's going to be moving into Pisces. It's only going to move to the 2-degree mark. There's 30 degrees in a sign, you guys. So it's only going to be hitting that first decan. And we're going to have this energy until July 29th, when Jupiter will then retrograde and it will move back into Pisces. Into Aquarius. Sorry, I'm messing this up today. It'll move back into Aquarius until the very end of December 2021, where it will make a long-term stay until May 10th of 2022. So what we're getting is just a preview. It's going to help us get into alignment with our beliefs about what do we deserve? And those things that we've been really working hard on, do we really feel in alignment with them? What kind of spiritual adjustments, what kind of adjustments in our belief systems can we make to get more in alignment with where we are trying to head, so that we can align up with those opportunities, those blessings, that luck, and that abundance that Jupiter is trying to bring in? So What I'm trying to say here is I feel like we are going to see more of the beautiful blessings of Jupiter. I'm not saying we won't get any, but we're going to see more of them being brought in 2022. Another reason why I say this, the first decan, which is the first 10 degrees of Pisces, is ruled by Saturn. So we really are not out of the Saturn clear yet. Yeah, we've moved out of Aquarius, we've moved out of Capricorn, and Saturn was just sitting in Aquarius with Jupiter, but we think we're out of the clear, and so we look at the ancient Hellenistic decan rulers, and the first ruler is Saturn. So Saturn still has an influence. Saturn is wanting to say, hey, it's not time to slack off. You still have to have that discipline. You still have to have that commitment if you really want to create and bring in those blessings, opportunity, abundance that we want to bring you in next year, right? So just keep that in mind. But one positive thing is the second decan of Pisces is going to be ruled by Jupiter. So we're going to be like getting double the luck, double the abundance come sometime next year. I didn't look ahead to see the dates, but I'm sure we'll be talking about this Jupiter and Pisces transit more as it goes along, and I will bring that up in the future. So Saturday, we've got the sun. We've still got the sun in Taurus, you guys. So we still have a little bit of fixed earth energy going on here. We are really grounded and stable and determined in whatever direction it is that we are trying to head, right? We are very determined, hardworking, trying to make moves because the sun is co-present here with Uranus. So this is an area of our lives where we might have been experiencing a little bit of a shakeup, where we're trying to break free from our old ways of doing things that have been ingrained and in place for a very long time. There's an ongoing square that's been happening with Saturn over in Aquarius to Uranus and Taurus, and the sun is really illuminating that, saying, where can we start working harder, really putting in the determination and the groundwork here and laying the foundation so that we can kind of make these breakthroughs and be liberated in a certain area of our lives, that Taurus area of our lives. So in modern astrology, this is a Capricorn ruled decan, the third decan of Taurus, which is basically meaning that we are putting our physical will into bringing something to life in this physical world. But Capricorn is the same as Saturn. It's all about discipline, hard work, dedication, laying the foundations, laying the structures, and working hard over the course of a long period of time to climb upwards, right? You've got that mountain goat. The goat is the emblem of Saturn, which it climbs the mountain, right? To be at a high point and view the rest of the world from this high point. Well, we've got to climb, and this is the climb. We are in it, right? So don't think you're off the hook yet just because Jupiter's in Pisces, because like I said, that's a Saturn-ruled decan too. So we still have a lot of this Saturn, Saturnian, Capricornian influence, even though it might not appear to be that way, okay? Honestly, I really believe that this is a great week to get stuff done, to work, to actually physically put in the labor, the manual labor. This is a really, really great time for that. We've also got some support coming at the end of the week to help us on the mental side of things too, helping really boost our intellect, which we've already got a couple of planets in the sign of Gemini, the mind, the intellect. So that energy has already begun, right? Anywho, I just wanted to tell you that what's currently on the mind with Saturn being in Taurus is long-term goals, achievements, future success, money and possessions, resources, all of those physical, tangible things, as well as love matters. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is love and romance. So these are some things that may currently be themes running through the mind, happening in our physical reality, coming to the forefront. Now, this specific decan of Taurus is ruled by the card, the tarot card, the Seven of Pentacles. I'm going to pop this card up on the screen right now. You will see that there is a man who looks like he has been working extra hard. He looks really, really exhausted, but he is looking down at his pile of pentacles, of coins, his abundance that he has worked very hard to create, admiring it, but he's exhausted. So what is this saying? It's like, yeah, we've got to work hard, But in this Venus ruled sign, we've got to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor too. So we don't want to burn ourselves out. We don't want to work so hard, so tirelessly that we hate what we do or we burn out easily and we lose focus of the bigger picture. So make sure that you are taking a little bit of time to enjoy yourself too, right? Stop and smell the roses. Take it all in, right? Enjoy the fruits of your labor. And this is also not a time for quick wins. These are not quick manifesting signs. Capricorn Decan, Taurus Sun. No, this is hard-working energy, right? This is things that are manifested and brought to fruition over the course of a long period of time. So work diligently. Make sure that you're also assessing where you're at right now. Are you putting your energy into the right things? Are you basically, is what you're doing helping you to get to your end game? Or are you kind of wasting and expending your time and energy? So it's really a good time to kind of assess that and make little tweaks and adjustments in your physical reality as necessary. Okay, I think I've spent enough time on that day. Let's go ahead and move on to May 16th, which is Sunday. We don't really have too much going on this day. I really think that this looks like it could be a potentially very smooth and chill day. We have really, honestly, the only thing that looked concerning to me a little bit, not that much, is this happens every month, okay? So we've got the moon transiting through the sign of Cancer, which is going to be coming together in a conjunction, which is a merging of the energies with Mars in its fall in the sign of Cancer. So yeah, this could bring up some volatile emotions or some challenges on the home front, confrontations with family members or loved ones. It could bring issues of protection to the forefront and safety. But you guys, this happens at 1:05 a.m. and the moon moves so fast. That's why I didn't even really want to bring it up, because unless you're up late on Saturday night, then watch out. There could be a potential for some type of emotional confrontation of some sort in the AM hours leading up to Sunday. But then we've got the moon, which is going to be trining Neptune, and this is going to be happening about 6:41 p.m., so it's going to be in the evening hours of Sunday evening. But this is a really good time to tune in intuitively, get right with yourself, do maybe meditation, or really get into creativity, because Neptune is the planet that makes our creative senses come alive. So create something, do something spiritual, something pertaining to the arts or self-expression in some way, maybe even moving the body in expressive ways, because the moon is the body, Neptune is a creative self-expression. So yoga, ecstatic dance, some type of free form movement would be really great for this evening. This is going to also be a time when you're really going to find yourself in tune with the emotions of other people. So this is a great time to talk about maybe family matters or some deep emotional topic that needs to be discussed, because you're going to have more compassion and others may have more compassion for you. So if there is a little sensitive topic that you may have needed to discuss with somebody, this might be a great time to do that. So yeah, that's Sunday. Should be easy breezy. Looks like we're in the free and clear that day. Let's move on to Monday. This is May 17th. The sun in Taurus is going to be in a beautiful and harmonious trine with Pluto in Capricorn, which is retrograde. Pluto is that planet of transformation that wants to transform our entire lives, which sometimes can come with an uprooting or a drudging up of things that we haven't wanted to look at in a really long time. But luckily, this is a lot of harmony because it's the aspect of the trine. So we are being given an opportunity here to shine light on how we can best navigate our lives and the transformations that are currently playing out, that have been playing out over the course of a long period of time, and how we can best navigate them, right? So we might be getting some insights or downloads into our consciousness that will help us to navigate these waters, these Capricorn waters that have been in the process of transformation. So wherever that Capricorn area is in your life, and it's currently retrograde, so this is going to be a more internal experience, right, of this energy. The sun is our identity. The sun is how we shine. It also can be pertaining to things like our ego, and Pluto is going to make us much more powerful and much more magnetic. So you might find that you just have a magnetic personality that's really pulling people in, or giving you more of a leadership ability, or maybe attracting some type of a leader or some type of person into your life that will help to influence you in a transformative type of way. I can see it playing out like that. People of power, people of authority in some way, helping to restore maybe your sense of self-confidence or your vitality in some way, shape, or form. Let's see. Really, overall, I think it's a great day to just really expand your consciousness level and helping you to dive deep into psychological complexities of the mind, your inner workings. You're going to have an almost magical sense of self-awareness this day. It's going to be fantastic. I like going deep, diving deep within myself. So if you are the type of person that enjoys that, I would suggest maybe spending some time in introspection this day, maybe doing some journaling, journal prompts, or just really letting your mind wander and take you where it wants to take you, right? Meditations that access that subconscious mind and those deep inner parts of ourselves that we don't normally access. It could really help you to potentially transform something that will help you shift the trajectory of your life in a more positive way, moving towards your goals, your aims, and your dreams, your ambitions for the future. I like one example I just heard Rick Levine recently give on one of his forecasts of the Capricorn area of life, how we've had a lot of upheaval coming through that area of life. I know it's my 7th house. It's brought a lot of upheaval in the way that I look at the relationships in my life, friendships and all types of things. And I've gotten rid of a lot of things in my life. Things have been kind of ripped out of my life. And I'm sure if you guys look at the Capricorn area of your chart, you'll see the same thing that's been going on. We've had Saturn and Jupiter aligned with Pluto, and they've all kind of moved on. Capricorn being these structures and foundations of our life that are being shaken up and transformed because there is only one planet that's being left in the sign of Capricorn that's holding up these structures, and that's the sign of Pluto. And Pluto is a planet that likes to completely destroy. So I really don't think that we can rely on Pluto. So if there are structures that are left in that area of life that still need to go, that aren't in alignment with where you're trying to go in your future, because as you can see, this is a journey of evolution that we're on. I wouldn't really have too much faith in that. Maybe you should start to do some of this destruction, or maybe use this Pluto transit to see what areas of life still need to be transformed in that Capricorn sector, and maybe assist Pluto. Because I had a dear friend of mine, Shanna, another astrologer who's awesome, Moon Apogee Astrology, check her channel out. She just told me recently, because I have a Pluto transit going on, that it's best to work with the energies of Pluto rather than have Pluto work on you. So that's just a little tip and advice that I'm going to give you that she gave me. Anyways, other than this, we've got on Monday, the moon is going to be ingressing, moving into the sign of Leo. So this really brings energy. It brings a lot of light and life into that Sun Trine Pluto transit, because Leo wants to be the center of attention. It likes validation, and it likes to shine its light and bring people joy and happiness by expressing itself in an authentic and beautiful way. So we're going to probably be feeling a little bit more lighthearted and childlike and fun. And this is the finishing of that waxing crescent phase. So we are starting to, move more in building of this light of the moon, gaining an energy, working towards our projects. So this is great energy. We should be really energized this day. With the sun at the end degrees of Taurus, Venus is really wanting to align us now with the things that are going to bring us more joy and harmony and peace on our path. Because Venus is going to be making a conjunction with the North Node of the moon, that fated and karmic and destined point that's helping to bring us towards the future. Where are we moving towards? The North Node's been sitting and marinating in this Gemini area of our charts since May of 2020. And Venus was like, hey, we don't have much left on this sojourn because the nodes are going to be moving in December. So where can I help you out and show you where on your path you're going to be more happy? You're going to have more pleasure and more joy. Moving forward, I want to align you with those things, right? So there's a potential here that there could be fated Venusian things that are brought into our lives. Venusian things, what are they? Friendships with females, relationships, harmony, and more peace and compassion in all of our relationships too, right? It could also be financial windfalls or just a boost of creativity, right? I love that. I love having little creative boosts. It could make you feel more beautiful or more confident as well. So these are all great things. Maybe it's a good time to question the following things. Are your values in alignment with where you are trying to go in life, with those goals and those dreams that you have for the future? How are your values lining up? Do you truly value yourself? Because if we're not right inside of ourselves, our outer reality will not manifest into what we want. These energies all right now, as you can see from this discussion today, are all about getting right inside of ourselves with who we are. Those Jupiter and Pisces energies with our belief systems and the way that we see the world. Are we in alignment spiritually? Do we have a spiritual practice of some sort that aligns with who we are and what we believe? But these Venus things, do we believe in ourselves? Are we in alignment? Do we value ourselves? And what's our relationship with our finances? What kind of relationships do we have in our life? Are they supportive of who we're trying to become and what we're doing moving forward? So you want to just look at all of these kinds of things, which are going to ultimately help you realign and then take movement towards that. Since we still have the sun in the physical, tangible sign of Taurus, we can actually make physical movement and put the work in, right? That's what we're trying to do. So anyways, we've spoken about that quite a bit here. Let's go ahead and move on to the energy of Tuesday. This is the only day on May 18th that I said was just a tad bit wonky. Just a little. It's not my favorite energy. We've got the moon in Leo that wants to express itself. It wants to be the center. It has an emotional need for attention and all of these things that will make it the center, right? Everything revolves around it so that it can be in the spotlight, so that it can express itself in a fun, childlike way. Those things that I was just talking about, well, the moon is going to be in a really challenging opposition. It's like a face-off. It's something that requires a little bit of balance, integration, compromise sometimes with the planet Saturn. Yikes. Saturn is in its home sign of Aquarius, so it's not like Saturn's really pissed or angry at anybody or anything, but Saturn is just a rule maker. So if he's in the sign of Aquarius, he's still going to be Saturn. It's not like he gets better. He's just not as malefic, right? What I believe that this could potentially be are conflicts with bosses or people in authority figure positions or people in positions of authority, Saturn being that authority, definitely. And this could also bring, like I said, moon is our emotions. It's how we feel internally. It is our constant shifting moods. Saturn can represent things like melancholy, sadness, depression, grief, loneliness, isolation. I don't like any of those things. That's why I said it's just a little bit of wonky energy. It could make us a little bit more moody this day. For some reason, we are just needing to find some balance and finding some integration with this face-off of some sort that we're having. We might have some type of challenge coming into our lives, our life circumstances. On this day, the moon can also represent our changing life circumstances, our fortune in life. And Saturn's like, yeah, you guys you had too good of a week. We're going to have to bring you a little moodiness one of the days. You can't have it all, right? One thing I can suggest, even though this is the middle of a work day on a Tuesday, do nothing. Stay to yourself. If you are feeling lonely, try to find somebody that can understand you, that you can talk to and let your emotions out. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spend too much time on this wonky energy. It's really, the moon moves so fast, you guys. This is going to start at about 10:28 a.m. It will probably last the majority of the day, clearing in the evening. Yeah, that's it. So then we brush the dirt off our shoulders. We move on to Wednesday. The moon is going to be entering the sign of Virgo. So we're already getting out of that energy. We are entering the first quarter square, which is the first waxing square of this moon cycle. This is going to be about 4:59 p.m. We are at the first crisis point in our moon phase. Our creations at this point, whatever's going on in our lives, no matter what we've seeded, whether what we've put into it is good or bad. And this might even be something that you are not aware of, because not everybody is doing new moon intentions, I will tell you that much. So say you were seeding some really bad habits at the start of the moon cycle. This is a time when things either go good or bad. You're starting to see the first crisis point, right? So you realize that it's not really having a more positive effect on your health. And you're starting to see the repercussions. You're not sleeping as well, whatever it might be that you're doing. So yeah, this is a little bit of a crisis point in Virgo. Are there details that need to be changed to put us on a more positive trajectory? How can we analyze this, right? How can we get more in alignment with our plot line of where we're trying to head moving forward? There could be a potential challenge or frustration that requires us to take some sort of action. That is what the square aspect is all about. So just keep an eye out for that during this day, around this time frame. We're going to be in this energy for a little while, just like maybe 24 hours or so, until it starts building to the gibbous phase. This is the building phase of the moon cycle. So we are building nurturing a project, laying the foundation for something. An interesting thing is that if you track the moon cycles, many full moon failures, like when you get to the full moon and everything is not playing out the way that you thought it would, it's not a success. Many full moon failures can be tracked back to something going wrong at that first quarter moon phase. So all you moon trackers out there, just keep that in mind. But anyways, you might be challenged with some type of opponent at this time, some outside circumstance, but you must persevere. This could potentially have something to do with yesterday's battle with an authority figure or a boss or something like that. Who knows? It could be a potential of the storyline being extended here. I think we've spent a little bit too much time on Wednesday, so let's go ahead and get into Thursday. The final day of our forecast here. I like this day too. It's the 20th of May. The sun is leaving that grounded, stable, practical earth sign of Taurus, where the energy has been fixed. We may have even felt at this point like we may have been stuck in something, or we were having trouble moving out of something in our life that we were trying to move forward isn't shifting in the ways that we would have liked it to shift. And this energy will do it for you, I'll tell you that much. Because now we've got quite the lineup in Gemini. We've got Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, in its home sign, ruling communication, our thought processes, and all of those things are being supported, especially with Venus here too. And now that the sun has entered, it's illuminating this area. And we've also got the north node of the moon, that karmic and destined point. So we've got quite the lineup in this Gemini house. The sun is going to be moving in at 3:37 p.m. Wherever the sun moves, it is going to shift the lens through which our soul perceives the energy of this third dimensional physical reality. So it just changes the way that we perceive things. It gives us a different energy that we inhabit. And if you really pay attention, it does change up the energy and you will notice a shift. So with this, what does this mean? We're moving from fixed energy. If you think about Taurus, it's the middle of a season. It's the middle of spring. We are in spring. It's really not getting too hot in Michigan yet. It's pretty consistent with that little bit of a chill, somewhat warm days. Sun's out, flowers are coming up, but we are definitely not in summer yet. We're not close to it yet. So we're moving into mutable, which is changeable. It's more adaptable energy that likes to sway back and forth between a couple different things. And if you think about Gemini leads up to summer, we are starting to get more warm days up here in Michigan. And summer is peeking its way in. We're dipping our toes a little bit further into the next season. So what Gemini represents being ruled by the sign of Mercury, it's all about that mental energy, communication, our thought processes, the way that we learn, the way that we process information, the way that we relate with people on a communication basis. It rules over things like technology, and it can also bring things into focus pertaining to our local community, our neighbors, our neighborhoods, our siblings, our relatives. So this is just going to bring a lot of busyness. It rules that day-to-day busyness, the busyness in the mind, the constant ticking mind, that need, desire to simulate our mental capacities and be curious and inquisitive. So you're going to be noticing that. You might have an extra desire to learn and communicate with other people, get out and socialize. But it's going to be really lighthearted, nice energy for the most part for the next few days at least, because we've got eclipse season and Mercury retrograde coming up next week. But I don't want to scare anybody. It's not scary, but the energy is definitely going to shift for sure. It's going to totally shift everything, the timelines and everything that we're on. So we're going to get into that next week. I don't want to touch on that, but this is going to be a really good time to get things done. So I would suggest getting things done now. Do mental things, learn, do paperwork, get text messages and emails out of the way, run your errands that you have to do. Communication's probably going to be great. That like witty, fun banter back and forth, jokes, laughter, things that aren't too deep in nature, just going to be socializing, having a good time. And this is the first decan of Gemini, and it's ruled traditionally by Jupiter. So we are also getting support from Jupiter, which is in its home sign of Pisces that just moved in. And then tomorrow, I don't want to get too far into next week's forecast, but tomorrow the sun will trine Jupiter. So the energy of today and tomorrow is really, really nice. Lots and lots of harmony and lots of confidence and optimism, belief in ourselves. And it's going to make learning and communication a whole lot easier. So if you've been feeling a mental block of any sort, hopefully you will be getting some relief on this day. Watch out for excess though with this Jupiter and Sun dynamic. Overinflation of the ego, maybe being a little bit too optimistic of something and not seeing it for clearly what it is. And you just want to watch out for things like that. Just a little bit too much, because Jupiter really expands on things and magnifies them. And with this connection with the sun in the first decan of Gemini, things can tend to get exacerbated. So just like my hand movements right now as I'm doing this with my hands. Lots of energy in Gemini. It's the sign of the intellect. And with all of this overabundance of energy on the intellect and on the mind, let's also make sure that we're not relying too much on the mind, that we are still bringing in that intuitive side of ourselves, that gut feeling, and kind of finding a happy medium with this. Sometimes we can get too much in that side of the brain that's rational, analytical, and we need to make sure that we are still paying attention to that somatic experience, that feeling inside of the body that's trying to direct us as well, right? And that should help us with that Jupiter first decan influence. Watch out for gossiping, you guys, being too flaky, unreliable. Watch out for those things. Watch out for trickster energy. That could be magnified at this time too. So be careful. Don't gossip too much. Just a little warning, fair warning. And also one final thing that I want to make a comment about here is Gemini is the twins. And with all of this energy that we've been discussing about wanting to become our best version of ourselves and really get in alignment with our belief systems about the world and our belief in ourselves and who we are, doing that deep inner work. So Gemini's the twins. This is a really good time to integrate the dark twin and the light twin, the devil on the shoulder and the angel on the shoulder. So if you are being given an opportunity to do that, take it by the reins, full force, and run with it, because you are being given a very valuable opportunity, and everything that you do now, all of the work that you put in today is going to help you create that beautiful abundance, opportunity, and luck that Jupiter wants to bring us next year. So thank you guys so very much. That is going to be my forecast. That about sums it up, wraps it up, I believe, for the entire week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please tap that like button, because the comments and the likes that you leave on this video not only shows YouTube that you like to see videos like this, but it's also going to help YouTube help to get this video out, get this channel out, so that we can continue to build and grow this community, and I can help to bring you guys this free content and keep you knowledgeable about the astrological energies that are always coming in every single week. Leave me a comment below if you're still with me. Why don't you leave me like a celebration emoji for Jupiter entering Pisces? And I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am forever grateful to have this channel and have this growing community. Peace and namaste.